There we go. Okay, so we're holding by the mission on the bottom of Ches Amud Beis. Hapoisek Ma'us Lechasnoi. A father-in-law says he's going to give money to his future son-in-law. It's already after Erusin. They already are married, but he hasn't done the suin yet. And the father-in-law says he guarantees that he's going to give his son-in-law X amount of money, $1,000 a month. However, Posheles Regel, he's stuck at his foot. What does it mean he's stuck at his foot? Rashi says, Lashon Bizoyinu. It's Lashon Bizoyin. In other words, he's saying, I can't do it. I can't hold up my end of the bargain. If you want your money, so go scrape the dirt off the bottom of my foot, and that's where you're going to get your money from. That's how much money I have. I can't fulfill my responsibility. Or, Rashi says, hang me upside down from the tree. Even if you hang me upside down from the tree, I have nothing to pay. I don't have anything to do. Like, I can't do it. So what happens? She sits there until she gets old and white. In other words, we can't force the husband to divorce. The fact that the husband's not getting the money that was rightfully he deserves, that was guaranteed to him, we can't force him to divorce the woman. So she sits there and waits for a get or waits for him to marry her. Admon says no. She has a valid claim. She can come along and say, guess what? If I made the deal for myself, if I was the one that got involved, I guaranteed you money. It's okay. I can't pay. I have to take responsibility for my commitments. And Mamela, she's Teishav Top of Panel. However, she says, what do you want from me? My father's the one that messed up. My father's the one that guaranteed you money. And my father can't pay. Why should that mess me up long term? And therefore, Admin says, we turn to the husband and say, either marry her without the money or divorce her. Rabbi Gamliel says, I agree with Admin, we should pass in like Admin. Says the Gemara. The Mishnah doesn't go like the author with the following braces. Daniel, Amar Rabbi Yetz, Rabbi Yehuda. That everyone agrees with. According to Rabbi Yetz, everyone agrees in that case. What's the machlekes? She said, guaranteed that she's going to pay her husband. She's going to go work and make sure her husband gets the X amount of money a month. There, the Chacham says she committed herself. If she can't uphold her end of the bargain, so she has to wait. She no recourse. And Admon says, and Admon says, no, even when she committed herself, she has a valid claim. Her claim is to say, I'm a Jewish American princess. And my father always took care of me. My father always, when I ever guaranteed money, he always stood by my side. I thought he was going to stick by my side now as well. I assumed, I had reason to believe that he was going to pay the $1,000 that I committed. And the fact that he's not, I bet Edson was only committing for my father to pay. And so therefore, the fact that my father's not paying, it's not my fault. Let me off the hook.
Wait, Rabbi, so how can you say that? Because why don't we just say go after what her claim was? Like, if she didn't say her father's going to pay. She said she is. So how could she claim now, I meant my father? Say it straight out, my father.
So I think the understanding is, I think the way Rabbi Yehuda's understanding is that this is the normal assumption of the world. When a girl commits to support her husband, the assumption in everyone's mind was that she was going to receive the money from her father. She wasn't going to do it herself.
So I'll ask better. What right does she have to promise her father's money?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe she didn't have a right to promise it, but at the end of the day, she did.
So I can promise right now, Rabbi. Oh, Josh Simonson will support you. Guess what? Even though I said it, Josh Simonson doesn't have to give Rabbi.
What?
No, but here the difference is very clear. Here, normally, her father stood by her side with her commitments. In other words, she had a license, be'etzem. Her father gave her a credit card and said, go charge as much as you want, I'll pay the bills. So she assumes, since that's been the normal reality for her whole life, and the normal assumption is when a woman says, I'm going to support you, she means her father's going to get involved. So she had a license to charge the credit card. That was the normal reality. That's what we're saying, that she lived with that reality. That was the reality of her life until this point.
Support is very. I definitely hear what Rabbi's saying. It's still not so fair to me because it's so different. Because it's a lot more expensive. It's a lot more money.
It doesn't necessarily have to be. It doesn't necessarily have to be. But the assumption was her father always stood by her side and always supported her, always paid for her bills. And so therefore she assumed that, and it's a valid assumption, that her father would remain on board.
To the point though where we would be mechoyev the father to pay?
No. We're not mechayev the father to pay. We turn to the husband and say that she has the fact that she can't pay, so we say that's a valid claim that she can't pay. And therefore, we turn to the husband and say either marry her without the money or divorce her. You can't just wait it out.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. Amar Rav Gamliel. Royani is the Be'adman. That's what Rabbi Yehuda learns. So our Mishnah is not like Rabbi Yehuda. Why? Because our Mishnah says the machlekes is where the father committed the money, not where she committed the money. So that is not like our Mishnah. Says the Gemara. Tano koifin. The Brisa said our Mishnah is only talking about a gedola, but a ketana we force. Correct the Gemara, koifin laman. Who are we forcing? Are we forcing the father to pay? If you tell me that we're going to force the father to pay, so it should be the exact opposite. Meaning what? So Rashi says, "In ba'asa lochav v'za'av, ipcha mistabra." The opposite would make sense. Ipcha mistabra tvei, lefisha gedela tonight. No, the gedela her tonight is actually valid. Her tanaim are valid. So therefore, since a gedela's tanaim are, her personal tanaim are valid, and not the father's. So I would have said the machlekes in the Mishnah is referring to a ketana, where the father was basically standing in place of a ketana and committing money in place of a ketana. But by a gedela, where she has her own capabilities to make her own tanaim, So then we would say the fact that the father committed money isn't really relevant. So Ibcha Mistap. So Elamai, so says the Gemara, Elo Amarava, Koifin the Bali Koifin the Bali get. By a Ketana, we're forced the Baal to give a get. We don't say he can wait it out. Amr Ben Allah said, Mishmei de Chizkiya, Komakum Sha'amar Gamliel, Royan is the bit of Admain. Any time that Gamliel says we pass like Admain, Halacha Kemoisai. We follow that in the halacha. Amar le Rabbi le Rav Nachman after the brayso. Is that true? Even when Gamliel says the halacha is like Amar le brayso. Amar le Mika Amrinim. The Mishnah. The Chomakim she'amar Rav Gamliel Kamir. Did we say anytime that Rav Gamliel spoke in a Mishnah? No, we said Rav Gamliel anytime. Chomakim she'amar Rav Gamliel. Even in a brayso. Amar Rabbi Zeir Amar Rabbi Bar Yirmiyah Beis Devarim She'amar Chanan Halacha K'Yotzei Boy Shit Devarim She'amar Me'in Halacha K'Yotzei Boy. Comes along Rabbi Zeira B'Shem Rabbi Yirmiyah. The two halachos of Chanan we pass them. 7 halachos of Admon we don't pass them. Fact the Gemara Ma'ikar. Ilema Hachika Amar Shnei Devarim She'amar Chanan Halacha K'Maisa V'Chiyot was similarly to Devarim She'amar Chanan Me'in Halacha K'Maisa. V'Loi, is that really true? Is that really true? K'Yotzei Boy V'Loi, sorry, Ein Halacha K'Maisa V'Loi K'Yotzei Boy. I made a mistake. My Amar Ilema Hachika Amar Shnei Devarim She'amar Chanan Halacha K'Maisa V'Chiyot Boy. The halacha is like Hanan in those who go like him, those who paskin like Hanan. When it comes to Admon, we don't follow Admon, we don't follow Rabbi Gamliel or anyone who follows Admon. Is that the pshat? So how can you tell me we don't ever paskin like Admon? No, we do paskin like Admon. Shnei Devarim She'amar Chanan Halacha K'Maisa V'Chiyot Boy. Shiv Devarim She'amar Chanan Me'in Ein Halacha K'Yotzei Boy. HaK'Maisa Halacha B'Chulu. So this is the pshat. Anytime Chanan is in the Mishnah, we follow Chanan. These two cases we follow Chanan, and anyone who passes like Chanan also. However, when it comes to Admon, then we don't always paskin like Admon. We don't follow those who paskin like Admon. However, K'Moisa we do paskin like. What does that mean? There are only 3 times that Rabbi Gamliel says we paskin like Admon. So we're saying we don't paskin like the 3 times that Rabbi Gamliel says the paskin like Admon. Rather, we pass like all 7 cases of Admon. All 7 times we follow Admon. Fact the Gemara of Amar Rabbi Yitzchak Belazar Mishmei Techizkiya Komakom Shomar Gamliel Roy and Isabei Admon and Halacha K'Maisai. Amar in Loy Amar Loy. If Rabbi Gamliel says to follow the halacha of Admon, we follow Admon. But if Rabbi Gamliel didn't say it, we don't follow Admon. So hold on, you're telling me we always follow Admon? But according to Rabbi Yitzchak ben Elazar, we only follow Admon in 3 of the 7. So says the Gemara, Shnei Devarim She'amar Chanan Halacha K'Maisa V'Chiyot Boy. Shiv Devarim She'amar Admon Yesh Mehej Halacha K'Maisa. There are those that we follow Admon. And how do we know that it is? Yesh Mehej Halacha K'Maisa. Elo K'Yotzei Boy. Rather, it goes like those who are not or like Admon that argue on Admon. The Chomakim Shomar Gamliel Roy and Isabei Admon and Halacha K'Maisa. Inach Loi. Now, as we pass like this, we come out with the following statement. We're going to follow Chanan and anyone who follows Chanan. We're going to follow Admon only in the case that Rabbi Gamliel says to follow Admon. But when Rabbi Gamliel says when Rabbi Gamliel does not say to follow Admon, so Medayik, that means don't follow Admon in these four cases. And we're not going to follow Admon, we're not going to follow anyone passing like Admon either. Adkan. Says the Mishnah. Ha'oirer al hasodeh. V'chosam ala be'ei. Admon v'ashen nechlei. V'arishin koshem. V'chamayim v'mibir s'chuzo. Also the Simon Acher. This is a very complicated case. You have Reuven, Shimon, Levi. Three individuals. Reuven, Shimon, and Levi. Levi sold a piece of property to Shimon. Reuven comes along and he says, Shimon, that piece of property that you just bought from Levi is mine. He's over on the Sadeh that Shimon just brought. Comes Shimon to base and he says, Shtar Mechira, I bought this from Levi. Not only did I buy it from Levi, but Reuven was an aid on the shtar, proving that I bought it from Levi. How can Reuven say it's his? He was willing to be an aid on the shtar that I bought it from Levi. So Adam and Omer, it's not a raya. The fact that Reuven's an aid on the shtar doesn't indicate that Reuven's giving up his rights to the field. Why? It's easy for Reuven to fight with Shimon. Arishon Levi is kashri menu. So he's waiting for Levi to get rid of the property in order that Reuven now could take Shimon to court because he knows that's an easier case to fight. No, if he signed on the shtar, even as a chusa, he wouldn't have signed on the shtar unless he knew that Levi really owned it and was selling it to Shimon. If he made a simon indicating where the borders of the property are, he also loses his rights to the land. Right? So that's making a simon. There's no svara of saying Harishain Koshahim and Ajin Noach Harishain Koshahim when he's making borders. He's not doing anything. So he's not signing any property, he's just making borders. So then there's no svar to say that Masheni Cheni Noach Harishain Koshahim. So Amar Abaye. Lo Shanu Elay Davar Dayin. Lo Yiberu Sukusari. If Reuven is the dayan on the case, when Levi is selling to Shimon, that is not a raya that Reuven is relinquishing his claim to the field being sold to Shimon. Why? Why is that the case? Says the Gemara, the Tani Rabbi Chia, Ein ha'edim chayim l'shtar ela im kin karahu. Eidim won't sign the shtar that allows Levi to sell to Shimon unless he read the shtar carefully. But the Dayanim aren't there to validate the shtar. The Dayanim are only there to make sure the signatures are good signatures, and then the shtar becomes valid automatically. So they don't have to read through the shtar. That's not their business now. If you want somebody to read through the shtar, go to the Bezdin. The Dayanim now are just there to make sure that the Chasimos are valid Chasimos. So the Dayanim don't necessarily read the shtar. So the fact that Reuven was a dayan on the shtar isn't a raya that he gave up his rights to the property. Continues the Gemara. Also similarly, Acher. Amar Rabbi lo shon elo li Acher. It's only true that he lost out his rights to the claim when he made borders for somebody else. But if he made borders for himself, then he's not losing his rights. What does he make borders for himself? So Rashi says, Lo yishon le'acher, davka nokad masnisin simin le'acher. Vel asa hamuchzak bo simin la'atzmik. The one who's living on the field made simin for himself. Vel asa hamuchzak bo simin la'atzmik shav Ruvain. Zeh ha'eir aleh shoyeh Shimon. So Ruvain comes and is complaining that it was really Shimon, right? I'm sorry, the Muchzak's coming to say, I bought it from Shimon. And right next to the field that Shimon was selling was Ruvain's field. And Ruvain indicated where Shimon's field begins. Right? So Ruvain assisted Shimon with delineating the borders, which were right next to Ruvain's property. So also similarly, Acher, then he loses out his rights. If his property, through separation between two properties, one of them being his own, so then he doesn't lose out his claim to the land. If I wouldn't have indicated where my borders were, he wouldn't have sold it to me. In other words, if Reuven goes and buys it from Levi, and he doesn't say where his borders are, Levi's never going to sell it to Reuven. You know what Reuven should have done? He should have gone and announced publicly that this is all a faulty transaction, because at the end of the day, it's his field from Yikar. Says the Gemara, friends have friends and friends have friends, meaning if he would be Meiser Maidah, it would spread, and then the current person living in the land would never sell it back. How does this in the Acher Irvishachim? Voikim Apitropa. Okay. Hauda also some after. Here he complained. Reuven and Shimon. Reuven complained that Shimon bought a field from Levi, but it really was his. Right? Meanwhile, Reuven indicated to Shimon where the borders were. So what happens here? Vishachim. Then Reuven dies. Then we appointed the Beis appointed Abitropa to take the place of Shimon's children. Also, Abitropa coming to Rabbi. Amalei also similarly Acher. Even Zechusai comes along Abaye, and he says, also similarly Acher, even as Chusay. Why Reuven loses out his rights to claim the field because at the end of the day he made a similarly Acher. So if the father would be alive, he would say, I made for you one furrow. I made for you one furrow. Meaning, right, meaning he's saying that I own this one furrow. Reuben's saying I own one furrow. Right? So if the father of the Yisrael would be around, I made for you, I delineated for you one place that's for you. The rest of it's mine. Right? If a person says he made one furrow, we believe him. In this one furrow, there were palm trees. If the father of the Yisrael would be around, he would have said, he would have said, Chazarti, I went back, I went back and I took it from them, from him. In other words, the dekalim that were in the furrow, even if the furrow belongs to Shimon, the dekalim in the furrow should belong to Reuben. He says, I went and bought it from them. This is a valid claim to say I returned it and then I bought it from him. In other words, even though Reuben was originally only holding on to it as a machzik, holding on to somebody else's stuff, if he returns it to Levi and buys it from Levi outright, then in Echinami, Shimon, Reuben gets to keep it. Amar Rabbi, make sure you have enough troubles like this guy, because he knows how to finagle things and behave half of the year. Same. People stop with that. Questions, comments, and suggestions, feel free.